What is the goal when you use humor, and are there age differences in those goals, you know?
Along with her co-authors, they conducted a study with young adults and older adults to see what their humor preferences were.
We were interested to see if young adults ages 18 to 30 years old versus older adults ages 60 to 80 years old. That's what we recruited for. We're going to find those clips as funny, and how would they rate those behaviors, those inappropriate behaviors.
Using clips such as The Office and other popular American sitcoms, Stanley determined who preferred affiliative versus aggressive humor.
We had 7 clips that were examples of people being inappropriate and that in those situation comedies, and 7 control clips where those characters were behaving appropriately. And participants had to watch the videos, and then they rated how appropriate was the main character's behavior, and then how funny did you think it was, from 0 to 100%.
According to this, young adults preferred the aggressive humor, meaning it's at the expense of someone else.
As older adults were more offended by the aggressive humor. They didn't think it was funny.
But why is this? Why do older adults not enjoy the same inappropriate humor as someone in their 20s? Stanley has 2 possible explanations.
If it's something that changes as we age, is it something developmental? You know, when the young adults in today's study are 60 years old in, year 2054 or whatever, will they now not like The Office and not like that aggressive humor? Or is it something generational? Is it something, does each generation have its sort of funny bone, what they find humorous?
Stanley suggests that it could be related to either developmental or generational differences.
If it's something developmental, it might suggest that as we get older, we might be looking for humor to help us in the situations we're encountering, such as there's a lot of loss that accompanies aging, so social loss, loss in cognitive abilities, physical loss, and maybe to cope with these losses, we focus more on other types of humor, like affiliative humor that brings people together. But I also think it's interesting to think about it as a generational difference. I mean, it really shows us how our culture and our society shapes not just, the judgments that we make, but even what we find funny.
Some may think, what is the point of understanding humor preferences? Stanley believes that it can help to bridge the generation gaps.
Findings like these can help to inform us how we can come together and talk to people of different generations. Knowing about these differences, whether they're generational or developmental, I think helps open the doors to better communication.
Most 20-somethings probably assume that adults old enough to be their parents or grandparents just aren't up to date with pop culture of 2014.
I want other people to realize that a difference between a young and an older adult, just because you're watching TV with your grandma and she's not laughing at The Office, I think people make the assumption a lot of times that, grandma doesn't get it. I think, in fact, sometimes talking to them and realizing that they do get it, they don't think it's funny.